ESPN, the world's leader in motorsports television, presents Speed World.
It all starts here, in the garage. Mighty factory plant or small backyard affair, the same bone-tired hours of preparation to the last detail. Large specialized staff or a couple of grease-thumb geniuses. Always an impossible deadline. Always too much to do in too little time. This one's 500 kilometers, 350 miles against the best competition in the United States. The Bridgehampton 500.
Hello everyone, I'm Dave Despain. No, it's not Le Mans or Sebring, but in its heyday, the glory days, it was sometimes mentioned in the same breath as those legendary tracks. It was the Bridgehampton Road Course on New York's Long Island, a hotbed of road racing built just beyond the luxurious summer homes of blue blood America. The challenge of a 500-kilometer grind around this long, tricky, and often sand-covered course was enough to attract a star-studded field of international road racers, and one oval tracker who would prove to be a pretty good road racer. The Bridgehampton 500 may best be remembered as the road course debut of a promising young kid, a kid named Mario Andretti. Let's join Les Keiter and Chris Economaki as they set the stage for the big race.
Bridgehampton, Long Island. The countless hours of preparation pay off here on a 2.85-mile track hewn from sandy hillocks on the tip of Long Island. Seasoned pros driving for multi-car teams or upcoming youngsters working on their own cars. Each must depend on preparation. Each must depend on his skill to negotiate the undulating demands of the circuit. Each must depend on determined opposition from his rivals. Seasoned pro or promising newcomer, each puts different emphasis on the race-winning factors of car, course, and competition. George Wintersteen is a 22-year-old engineering student. He was last year's Sports Car Club of America Kimberly Cup winner. This year, he's moved to newer cars, bigger engines. With mechanics Bill Murphy and Bill Scott, he concentrates every spare hour, readying the new Chevy-powered McLaren Elva, and they're still at it. Wintersteen talks with National Speed Sports News editor Chris Economaki.
Well, the guy that's there at the end is going to be pretty well placed, and I think this car has got the potential to be where it's going to count. Certainly, maybe when the competition drops out.
You've got a new car. Is it giving you any problems?
Yeah, we've had our problems. Yeah, it's as a brand new car. This is the first race in this country with it, and we've had some suspension problems and a few transmission problems. But I think we'll get them pretty well sorted out for tomorrow.
Seasoned pro Walt Hansgen isn't worried about his car. The king of the bridge, Hansgen's never lost a modified sports car race here in 9 years, is driving a Minkum racing team Lola T70.
Well, when that starting flag waves, what is going to be on your mind? Your car, the course, or the competition?
Well, I think the competition, because if the competition doesn't go very fast, well, then there's no point in going very fast. In other words, you only go as fast as you have to. And there's no point in coming out here and trying to go too fast. Now, this morning we were breaking some tires in, and just now, breaking some tires in and breaking some brake pads in. And the car just felt good to me, and I went faster than I'd ever gone before. We're still breaking tires in.
Texan Hap Sharp, partner and co-driver with Jim Hall on the Chaparral team, concentrates on the course.
It's one of the most difficult courses to drive in the country, Chris. It's a very challenging track. It's got some fast sweeps and a lot of blind corners, and I think it's truly a driver's course.
Hap, when you want to go faster here, how do you go about doing it? Do you get braver? Do you drive it deeper into the turns, or just what?
Well, I think experience is the main thing on any racetrack, and I'm sure I would be faster here next year than I am this year, and I think that's the key ingredient.
What about the course trouble spots? Are there any particular areas of this Bridgehampton race circuit that are giving you trouble?
Trying to remember where that first turn goes after it disappears over that hill is quite a deal, Chris.
That seems to be giving many of the drivers a hard time here, and it didn't in the past. You think that's because the speeds are way up?
Well, maybe they didn't talk about it in the past, but I'm sure everybody's always wondered if that road is really where they remembered it every time they go over that hill.
The Bridgehampton course is one of the most challenging in the United States. Try the 2.85 miles in a Chaparral with Hap Sharp at the wheel. Heading out of the main pits into the main straight, you drop immediately into the downhill turn 1. 2 apexes to the right-hander. Then a short straight leading to the high-speed millstone turn. Another straight. Then into the decreasing radius turn leading to Echo Valley. Many drivers feel this is the slowest turn on the course. Uphill through Echo Valley now, and into a blind left-hander, slightly banked. Then downhill again, and a series of bumpy, tricky left-hand turns. There's passing through here, but a poor handling car will be severely penalized by the combination of bumps and turns. Then into the tight hairpin. A well-handling car can take advantage of this turn and even do some passing. Uphill again on the east straight leading to Aaron's turn. 2 apexes that pop up at the driver, then finally that last uphill stretch leading to the 1,000-yard long main straight. They'll hit upwards of 155 miles per hour here before plunging again into the infamous turn 1. Turn 1 could make the difference for GT driver Skip Scott.
Well, you don't believe you can go as far as you can go. I mean, you come over the breast of the hill, and, you know, you can't see anything, so psychologically you lift, you know.
Blind turn.
Blind turn. And then you get over the hill and, you know, you say, my God, I could have gone twice as fast as I could have. So you just got to work up to this and make yourself believe that you can get over the top of that. That is the critical, you can make up a lot of time in that turn.
In factory Ferraris, perennial Ferrari ace Pedro Rodriguez and road racing neophyte Indianapolis Rookie of the Year Mario Andretti.
Mario, there are 3 principal ingredients in any auto race: the car, the course, and the competition. What of those 3 will you be thinking about the most when this race starts?
Well, with me, it will have to be the course because, you know, it's of a different nature to what I've been used to, and this is quite an interesting and at the same time very tricky course. There are a lot of blind spots, and you have to be concentrating at every moment for what's ahead because, like I said, because of these blind spots, and myself, I'll have to be very, very careful, really.
In a moment, the start of the Bridgehampton 500. Now, Chris Economaki on the starting grid.
The 500 is about to start, and it's going to be an interesting race. 110 laps around this 2.85-mile European-type racing roadway. We're going to see Walt Hansgen, the fastest qualifier in a Ford-engined Lola, and alongside him, Buck Fulp in another car, but with a Chevrolet engine. Third starter, Mexican ace Pedro Rodriguez in a Ferrari, and behind them an impressive field with Bob Grossman in a Ferrari and Hap Sharp in a Chaparral. That's way back for a Chaparral. And also, making his road racing debut, oval track star Mario Andretti. It's going to be an interesting race.
And so it is, Chris. A gusty, overcast day. The tops in their field in top cars on a demanding course. And here they come. 24 thundering speedsters, reined in behind the pace car, waiting for the flag to start the Bridgehampton 500. Rodriguez outdrags the field and leads through turn 1 with Fulp, Sharp, and Hansgen in pursuit. from the Goodyear blimp at the hairpin turn, and Sharp passes Walt Hansgen right behind. But Pedro holds on to his lead. Lap 1, and it's Rodriguez, Sharp, and Hansgen. Sharp is in excellent position from his 6th starting spot on the grid. Both he and Hansgen are turning on the heat, right on Rodriguez's tailpipe. And now Sharp has passed Rodriguez. Hansgen's 3rd. Hansgen's by 2. The pre-race favorites are now 1-2. And a real battle shaping up between Sharp and the number 66 Chaparral and Hansgen and the number 11 Lola. Hansgen's turning it on. 1 minute, 39.7 seconds, only a 10th off his best qualifying time. He's past Sharp, and on the downhill turn 1, Sharp's biggest worry. He tries to grab it back, but Hansgen stays in front. Rodriguez is still 3rd in the 4.4-liter Ferrari. Buck Fulp a distant 4th in the Lola T70. Skip Scott's 5th in the 427 Cobra. Bob Grossman 6th in a 4-liter prototype Ferrari. Trouble for George Ahrens in the turn that bears his name, but he's all right. Hansgen still leads Sharp, but Hap's making his move as they head into the straight and passes Walt just past the pits. Texan against the king of the bridge. Hansgen grabs the lead again at the hairpin. And Sharp grabs it back. They'll never be able to keep up this pace. Trouble for Hansgen. He's off at the turn just before Echo Valley. And Sharp holds first place. A Goodyear blimp's eye view. Hansgen definitely off the track and out of the race. Looks like suspension problems, no hope of recovery. That takes the pressure off Sharp for the moment. Hansgen has run a half mile through the sand back to the pits. He's exhausted, but nothing wrong otherwise. Rodriguez is now 2nd. Fulp 3rd. George Wintersteen has pulled up to 4th. And Scott pulls 5th, just barely ahead of Andretti's Ferrari. Sharp, meantime, slows the pace somewhat, with Hansgen out and the race only 15 laps along. Hansgen's back on his feet and in Buck Fulp's pit. They both have the same kind of car. Maybe something's up. Let's go to Chris Economaki.
Walt, you were leading the race, and now you're standing here. What happened?
Well, I'm afraid we broke an upright going down the hill. It felt rather strange to me, and we went around the turn at the bottom of the hill and then up that little short straight and down the back straight, and it just let go altogether, and I sort of guided it off into the sand dunes.
What is an upright, Walt?
Well, the business end of the rear suspension.
It's in 9 years of racing here at Bridgehampton, you've never been defeated in a modified sports car race, so today is history-making, isn't it?
Yes, indeed.
Well, later in the day for someone else. A possibility?
Yes, yes. The Fulp people, team manager of the Fulp's car, asked me to stand by in case Buck got tired. Of course, he drives a Lola, just like ours, so we sort of be in home territory anyway.
Well, you may win it yet.
Never can tell. We'll try.
Walt Hansgen, out of the race.
Fulp in the Lola is very much in the race, third behind Rodriguez. Grossman has pulled up too. He's now sixth. And now Fulp has passed Rodriguez. Pedro's crew tells him he's third, doing a 1:46-second lap. Trouble for Wintersteen. We're only at lap 15 of this 110-lap race. Wintersteen wasn't satisfied as he started today with that big engine and brand new car. The trouble?
We're jumping in and out of third gear. We had gearbox problems all practice, and I guess it was too much for the gearbox. We're popping in and out at the wrong moment, and we might blow the engine if we keep on doing it.
A promising young driver sidelined. His car not ready yet. Wintersteen was up to fourth place when he left the race, a creditable showing. Meantime, Skip Scott in the giant 427 Cobra is having a battle with rookie sensation Mario Andretti. Scott loses it, and that gives fourth place to Andretti in the Ferrari. Sharp, meantime, is averaging a steady 98 miles per hour, holding first place with ease.
Hap Sharp, Chaparral, and the Lola of Walt Hansgen, the king of the bridge, was a classic. Will Walt get a chance to keep his Bridgehampton winning streak alive by jumping in Buck Fulp's car? Stay tuned. And Mario Andretti's road racing debut? Impressive indeed, for a while. In fourth place and climbing, and well before his scheduled gas stop, Andretti steered his Ferrari to pit road. The shrug of his mechanic was not a good sign, and Chris Economaki went looking for details.
What's the trouble, Mario?
That's the clutch. It's slipping very badly.
How are you doing in the race?
Well, I was running a comfortable fourth spot, and I'm very disappointed.
Well, Mario Andretti, what's clutch trouble?
Andretti's back out again. But how long can he last? Sharp gets 1 minute 43 and 6/10 from his crew. Slower than qualifying, but apparently enough. Fulp's the only contender now, but he doesn't seem to be able to pick up on the fleeing Sharp. Still standing by in case Fulp needs help. Andretti's back for good this time. The Ferrari's clutch has given out on the oval track star in what was a promising road racing start. Nearing the 70-lap mark now, and Sharp's crew shows him the time for gas sign. Rodriguez is now a solid third behind Fulp. Scott is fourth with Andretti out. And Grossman's right behind in fifth. And John Timken in a Brabham is sixth, first under 2 liters. In the GT class, Bob Johnson and Ray Como, driving identical Shelby Cobras, are circulating with Grady Land, first in class, 7th and 8th overall. Rodriguez gets the gas sign. It'll soon be the one gas stop of the race, a crucial juncture. Here's the race leader, Hap Sharp, and they're adding oil. Trouble, Hap?
It's smoking very badly, and I'm losing oil.
And that could be trouble. 34 laps to go in this race. Fulp and Rodriguez within striking range if Sharp develops serious problems. But he's getting out again in good time. Pedro's in for his stop. Nothing but gas for the Mexican ace. His Ferrari prototype, a proven endurance machine, although slower than the Chaparral. Scott pits the 427 Cobra in 4th place and hands it over to Dr. Dick Thompson for the final laps. Hansgen waits for Fulp's pit stop, but there's trouble. Steering difficulties cause Fulp to miss the pit entrance and slam the guardrail. His front end is severely damaged, and this may be it. Hansgen's an anxious spectator, ready to go if the car can be repaired.
And then when, right before Hap Sharp passed me, lapped me, look, every time I go around a turn to the right, down there, I got to come back. I looked for gas and oil and flags, and I couldn't see anything.
No go. It's broken ball joint in the front suspension, and that takes care of the second Lola, and Hansgen's only chance to be a Bridgehampton winner 10 years in a row. Sharp, building a pad, has stepped up his time and is turning better than 114 miles an hour average. Rodriguez is considerably off the pace at 94 miles an hour average, but he's a solid second with Fulp out. Into the final laps now, the Cobras of Johnson and Como now in 5th and 6th. The Chaparral, an easy first, smoking a bit now, but apparently not enough to slow down Hap Sharp. Rodriguez, an easy second, but with no chance to catch Sharp. Final lap now. And there's the checker for Hap Sharp and the Jim Hall Chaparral. Rodriguez is second, more than 2 laps down. Dick Thompson finishes the big 427 Cobra in 3rd. Bob Grossman is 4th in his prototype Ferrari. Shelby Cobra's 5th and 6th. Victory lane in a moment. Second straight Bridgehampton win for the Chaparral team. And another convincing victory for the Texas geniuses in their plastic-bodied automatic transmission Chaparral. In victory lane, Hap Sharp manages the silverware nicely, and even a sip of the local New York champagne. Nor is he entirely unhappy.
Congratulations, Hap.
Thank you, Chris.
How was that victory champagne?
Well, it tasted delicious. It's a great thrill to me to win our second international victory of the year.
Well, that's great. The car, of course, performed well, didn't it?
Yes, it did. Very, very well.
What about those early laps, Hap, when you're dicing with the competition, Rodriguez and Hansgen?
It was a lot of fun. Sure was.
Did you have any qualms then about your ability to win?
Well, you never know when the guy's passing you every now and then, whether you're going to beat him or not.
Well, fine. Continued good luck to you, Hap Sharp.
Sharp averaged better than 97 miles an hour for the 110 laps. Rodriguez was more than 2 laps off the pace at the end. More than 20,000 fans saw another Chaparral victory at an exciting Bridgehampton 500.
Well, a quarter century later, the Bridgehampton circuit is still out there on the eastern shore of Long Island, though it no longer plays host to international competition. Periodic efforts to restore the track to its former greatness usually run afoul of local opposition. And so the bridge serves primarily as the home of a high-performance driving school and the repository for a lot of great racing memories. Oh, and the Andretti kid? Well, he turned out to be a pretty fair road racer, didn't he? And the path to his 1978 World Championship began with that first step at Bridgehampton, Long Island, back in the glory days. I'm Dave Despain. See you next time.